All right, it's about 10:45 on Thursday morning. I want to give you a quick update. It's going to be short and brief, hopefully, but I got some information. I want to talk about how things are unfolding for our Christmas storm. So let's get right to what's going on across the Midwest, because I think this is telling us the story. You can see what's going on right now in the water vapor loop. One thing you notice, here's our big low, which we talked about coming out of California. This is what we call the southern stream or the subtropical jet stream energy. That's right there over the Four Corners region. It's very strong, very far to the south. But up over the Canadian-U.S. border, just north of North Dakota, there's another piece of energy up here that's diving to the south. These two things are going to try to come together to make the storm over the southeast. Right now, I'm going to show you a model that's going to show you how that thing kind of happens. Here's our two pieces of energy 24 hours out. So here's our piece of energy right here over Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and then here's our other very strong piece of southern stream energy moving into West Texas. Let's go out into the future here. We'll go all the way to Christmas night, or Christmas Eve, excuse me. This is 7 p.m. Christmas Eve. Our strong northern stream energy is moving down through the western Great Lakes, upper Midwest, and our strong southern stream energy is now over Texas. These things got to come together. We call it phasing. Think of this as like two cars trying to merge together or merging into traffic. You don't want to merge together, but to try to pick where these two things come together is like picking a little small dot on the pavement on I-77 where you're going to merge from the merge lane into moving traffic. It's hard to figure out. When it does happen, it's going to be a huge deal. So we'll go out. This is going into Christmas Eve night. Let's go all the way to Christmas morning. This is Christmas morning right here at 7 a.m. Look at the strong northern stream energy. That's pretty strong across the Ohio Valley, but look at our southern stream energy. That's a potent low, but they have not phased together. Notice the little dip here just to the north, and notice the dip down here. They're not one big dip. Watch what happens as we go out into the future. This is Christmas Day. We're going into Christmas night. Northern stream energy is beginning to try to phase. They're still separate, but they're beginning to phase here, Christmas night. Now we go into Christmas night. Boom, they start to phase, and we're going to get cyclogenesis, we call it. Basically the beginning of low pressure off the Carolina coast. This is 72 hours, and then we go, this is Sunday morning, basically mid to late morning, and look at the low. They phase together and become a monster storm off the East Coast, and then it's one big low that becomes a nor'easter. So what does this mean? Well, HPC is putting out a probability graphic right now for Saturday 7 a.m. till Sunday 7 a.m. of 10% chance of 4 inches or more over all of our viewing area, with a 40% chance back to the west. Now the key to this is that southern low, which is going to develop, and you can see the track that it looks like it's going to take. But really the key is when it gets over Florida and off the southeast coast, and that doesn't happen really till late Christmas Day. So as far as the probabilities, this is the probability of 2 inches of snow or more. You can see Charlotte is in the dark green area, which if you look up here is 30 to 40% probability, but the upstate, the southern mountains of North Carolina and the mountains of South Carolina have 80 to 90% chance of seeing at least 2 inches plus. This is the chance we see 4 inches or more. Notice the high probabilities in the southern mountains and northeast Georgia, upstate of South Carolina. That's at least 50%. But notice this 1 to 5% chance that the heavier snow actually falls east of us. That's because of that probability that the low bombs out here and that heavy snow band takes there. So today, I'm watching these two pieces of energy. We need them to phase. My friend Ryan Vaughn in Arkansas, great quote from his blog. It's an upper air marriage. We're looking for these two systems to come together, and where that happens is key. The fact that they're so far apart right now tells me that is not going to happen until it's way down here off the southeast coast, which means this system is going to be much slower. So that's just a quick update. Right now I'm thinking 2 to 3 inches, but a lot hasn't changed. Until these things come together or we see it happening, we're not going to make a lot of change to the going forecast for the weekend. And one thing I will say, this is going to be slower. It's going to be Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, I think, into Sunday morning, more than Christmas Eve or Christmas morning. Hope you're enjoying your Thursday, and if you're heading out of town, have a happy holiday. Of course, I'll be on TV today starting at 4 o'clock on News Channel 36. See you then.